Now here about his perspective about our current day in world and politics is Noz Pine. Noz Pine is a random person I met in front of a Trader Joe's. I was just kind of standing around and he went up to me and asked, "Are you from Brooklyn?" Which I promptly answered no. Then he asked, "Can I be on your show?" And, well, we're here now. Noz, it's great to have you here on the show. Let's start out with some really big news. The Capitol got stormed.
I know, Bertie. It's crazy. How can people vote for this Cheerio? The only sane reason I can think that people would vote for Donald Trump is Alec Baldwin cold opens for the next 4 years. It's actually pretty scary because he's literally taken over a political party and harnessed millions of devoted followers who will stay with him no matter what. If he were up at a podium declaring that ostriches are really just chicken giraffes, the crowd would eat it up. You may not like him at all, but how he's been able to corrupt and bend so many people during his presidency without getting arrested is very awful, but very impressive.
For sure. And just to make sure we're on the same page when it comes to political parties, where do you say you stand on when it comes to political parties on, of course, most issues?
I honestly don't know, but what I do know is that MSNBC always claims to have breaking news when in reality their shows are really just the same show from yesterday, except with a different panel talking about how the country's liberty and justice is being exploited, on and on and on. And so that's why watching Tucker Carlson is so fun, because whether or not there's a glaring caption at the bottom of the screen, you know something's breaking over at Fox News. Honestly, winning the election has been kind of bad for those at MSNBC. Rachel Maddow has moved to glasses rather than contacts. Brian Williams is even more boring than usual. And even Steve Kornacki has started doing football playoff situations during halftime shows. You know it's bad when Steve Kornacki, the guy who seems the most enthusiastic about politics and races, has started looking for other potential jobs. But what I've noticed is you can tell a lot about different people by their habits. For instance, when Brian Williams drinks his coffee, it's in a nice warm cup on his desk, whereas Tucker Carlson likes his coffee hot and thrown right in his face before his segment.
And how do you feel about the current procedures going on in Congress? Maybe talking about a second Donald Trump impeachment.
I'm kind of disappointed, to be honest, Bertie. You see, every time there's a huge issue that goes to the Congress, there's always a ton of speeches saying the same thing, and they're always given by old men who talk like they have nowhere to go for the next 3 years. I wish that someone would go up there and do their speech and just be like, "Oh, him? Yeah, he cray. Thank you for your time."
Noz, just from knowing you personally, I am well aware that you are quite the germaphobe. What's your perspective of COVID-19 through the eyes of a germaphobe?
The pandemic is awful. I have to wear two masks, one on my face and one on my chin.
Wait, Noz, you wear a mask on your chin? You know, COVID-19, as far as we know, can't be spread through chins.
Oh, Bertie, you're all mixed up. You've never heard of chin COVID?
No, I have never heard of chin COVID. What's chin COVID?
Chin COVID? Well, chin COVID is an awful pandemic that's sweeping through the human race. You can spot someone that's afraid of chin COVID because they'll be wearing their mask down on their chin. Some may say that they're ignoring safety guidelines, but what if they're simply more scared of a different pandemic? In fact, it appears chin COVID is most dangerous to football coaches because of the number of them wearing their masks on their chins. Oh, also, did you hear about Trump's new campaign slogan?
No, I didn't. But back to chin COVID.
Trump's new campaign slogan is "Vote for Trump 2022. Next term is coming earlier than expected."
Well, let's hope we can get him in jail before he completely dismantles and destroys our countries and our Constitution.
Yeah.
Alright, well, that's Noz Pine for the Weekly Late Show on BBNBC. I'm Brady Betts. That's Noz Pine. Good night, everybody.